All right, let's talk about some video games.
Please.
Most importantly, we have a video game that we've been playing on the Switch, but it's also available in other places like the PC and stuff like that. But since the Switch exists, this is where we do it.
Yes.
Katana Zero, man. Katana Zero. This game is something else. This game came out a couple weeks ago. We have an interview that we just posted on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/gamer with Justin Stander. I was like, wait,
What is
how do
his
you pronounce it? I always forget.
Yep.
Stander. We interviewed him, or actually Ty, our buddy Ty, interviewed him at PAX South and talked to him about this game. Basically,
Check
this is
out Ty, Art of Struggle just look up Art of Struggle. You'll find him.
at Art of Struggle. Yeah, you'll find him out there.
Great guy. He has a podcast, talks about video games, talks about tech, talks about the industry in both. And he likes to dig into some of these articles and just have his opinion. And it's really awesome.
Perfect.
So go check him out.
Yeah. So with Katana Zero, this is a cyberpunk neo-noir style kind of game. Really trippy. You're like a samurai, I guess you could say, that has a sword that fights and kills bad guys.
Right.
Your nickname is the Dragon.
Dragon.
Because you're a badass. But you're also going to a psychiatrist.
You're kind of a psychopath, too. Don't even know it.
Because, yeah, you're kind of a psychopath. And you don't really know where things are going with your life. But all you know is you go see the psychiatrist. You got a certain number of days remaining. Every time you start up and you wake up, you go out there, you fight and kill a bunch of people after you see your psychiatrist. And then the psychiatrist drugs you up with something, and you go out there and you fight and kill a bunch of bad guys. And then you find out about that night on the news that the Dragon is out there killing a bunch of people, murdering them in all these things.
Yep.
Crazy serial killer.
So I think the story they put together here is actually pretty cliche, but they put a nice twist on it. I mean, I think it helps that it's, 16-bit neo-noir style game, and the look and feel of it is unique. I mean, you have a guy who was in the army, and then he got injured, apparently, and some guy nursed him back to health, but he's also taking this medication that messes with your mind, and that
Chronos.
And you use Chronos in the game as a way to look into the future before you go on these missions to kill these wanted people by this psychiatrist who's giving you dossiers to look at for assassination. And it's very interesting. Try and put it all together, and it starts messing with your mind, and there's some weird parts in this. So as you go through the game, yes, they talk about like you're massacring people left and right. As the story progresses farther, and I would say past the like halfway point, or even probably before that, and it's kind of like, well, we didn't actually go do that.
Well, you start to question reality. Like, did that actually happen? Is this real? Am I seeing this person here? Am I really myself? Who is the Dragon? Who is V? Is this psychiatrist real?
Yeah.
Is he crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I don't exist. Maybe I'm in a dream.
Right.
I was in a dream. I am dreaming. There's these masked men here.
Yeah.
All these weird things are happening. And I don't really understand what's going on.
I know.
But
I think that's the point.
I think so.
You
really
have a glimpse of like, okay, this is what's happening. And then all of a sudden it's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Because you jump forward, you jump backward, and you're like, wait a second. This guy's supposed to be dead, but he's not dead. There's one mission that I just played where I killed someone coming in to this room. And when I watched a replay, how it does like because so in this game, you plan out, like there's no actual death. So you plan out what you're actually going to do by playing the level. And if you die, you just restart at the beginning, kind of like Celeste does. So you just like automatic restart. And so you can, once you finish that little section, you can watch the replay of yourself going through it. It's supposed to be like a security camera or something. Well, in this mission, when I killed this person who was trying to protect someone getting away, when I did the replay stopped. And the guy got back up and said, wait, you're supposed to be dead. I was like, wait, what? I just slashed you. How are you coming back to life? What is going on here?
You don't know.
You don't know.
You have no idea.
It's so trippy, and I love it.
No, it's really fantastic, and the mystery, the intrigue, and like you said, you mentioned Celeste. Like this game has the magic that Celeste had in its gameplay, in that the missions, the levels are short enough that you fail a lot, like you make a lot of mistakes, but you keep getting back up and getting back up and getting back up and trying it over and over again to get better. And you get a little bit further each time, and then eventually you finish the level and you're like, yes, I just did that. And there's a sense of satisfaction that you work so hard to achieve this goal and you got it and you finished it and you're like, yeah, let's do the next one.
Right.
And I just keep wanting to go through and like finding there's not a whole lot of different ways you can approach it. I mean, later on, actually, you get a lot of different gameplay mechanics you can use to really get creative with the way you attack people. So you have your katana that you use to slash. Later on, you can pick up items off the ground or on shelves or whatever that you can use to throw at people as projectiles. So those are your two main forms of attack. However, you can control time. So you can hold down a button and it slows down time to where you can have more control over. I mean, it's basically like Max Payne style bullet time,
right?
Where you can see the bullets coming after you, and then you can even slash said bullets and knock them back at the enemies and use that to your advantage. And you have another button that lets you kind of dive down and kind of do like a Matrix style, like roll slide underneath bullets and stuff. And you can slash up and slash to the right and slash up and to the right and up and to the left and all the different places, and like combining all these move sets together and going slow motion and then undoing slow motion and then, you know, ricocheting a bullet back at this person, then throwing this thing at somebody and then catching this thing on fire. Like, you just feel like a badass every single time you walk in there. You're just like, whoa,
yeah,
this is amazing.
No, I love it. I love it. Especially the parts where it's just like, my God, I'm never gonna beat this game.
yeah.
It's just, it has that like kind of Dark Souls feeling to it as well. And yeah, there's a lot of different combinations you can do, and the gore is a little ridiculous, but I kind of love it because when you slash somebody and you throw them, like there's a long line of blood that's on the wall and kind of splatters and falls down a little bit. It's like, okay, yeah, we're playing this kind of game right now, and it's awesome.
Yeah, if this was a game that was in full 3D graphics, it would be a very rated beyond R game.
Yeah.
But because of the fact that it's in like this pixel art, it gets away with a lot of things. But it's incredibly violent. Like, don't let your children play this game.
Right.
This is not a game for your children. But it's a really, really good game.
I think another great point or a great aspect of this game, which makes it actually great, is the dialogue choices that you have in between cutscenes and battling. So it's not just straight up battling, you know, it's just like you get a time to kind of calm down, regain your, put yourself together because you're probably furious at the game at this point, and like get to read some of this, like what is going on between these characters and this, what's happening in this world. And you're able to either skip all of it by, I call it like the angry skip.
Yeah.
So like you have a certain amount of time, like in Telltale, to make a choice. And early on, if you want to just skip all the dialogue, get straight to the next scene where there's battling, you can do that. And
you just say an aggressive,
right,
like dialogue choice, like "fuck you, give me what I need."
Yeah.
And then it just like bypasses like a whole dialogue tree, and then they get agitated with you, and then it's just
that actually affects
dangerous.
the story. And
Yeah.
like that's awesome too, that like you don't have to go through the dialogue to get some kind of story. Like it kind of evolves around you in a way. So like that's very interesting and different. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess Telltale did that, where it's like if you didn't answer, they're like, oh, they'll remember that and stuff. But it's like, what did that really do?
Well, yeah,
this feels actually palpable. Like you're really taking, like you're really forming the story, regardless if you don't want to do it.
Yeah, because like in Telltale, if you didn't answer, it was just considered like a mute, like I don't have a response for this situation.
Right.
But in this one, when you don't respond, a lot of it is a arrogant and or direct or coarse kind of answer where you're just like, no, fuck you, I don't have time for this shit.
Right.
Give me what I need.
Yeah.
And it's you become
kill more people.
You become a dick, basically.
Yeah.
And so that definitely rubs off on a lot of people. And like there's a lot of characters in this game, like way more than I expected for what I was playing. And like he really put a lot of time, Justin did, into just like developing what the story has become. But I think the shine of it is the gameplay for sure. Like the level design is fantastic. The gameplay mechanics that he introduced, the way that it like kind of slow builds you up to learn more and more, to where like looking back on doing what I'm doing now, I cannot imagine when I started this game that I would be doing all these badass move sets,
Right.
and like using all these different button combos. Like my wrist was hurting today from sitting there playing the game and trying to like
I bet
do all these different things at one time and
Right.
hop around, do this, that, dodge bullets from different directions, and you get really, really creative really easily, and I love that about it.
Yeah. Like there's one where I literally just have to go in a straight line, and once I bust through this door, I have one item I can throw. I can go down the stairs and have another item to throw, but there's like 5 dudes down the stairs waiting for me, and 2 of them have shields and 3 of them have guns. Well, actually, they all have
Dude,
guns.
I hate those shields, man.
Oh my gosh,
They're the worst.
I finally like figured out something that worked, because I literally died 20 times, no joke. So I get out, go to the very top of the stairs. I was always running, throw my my glass bottle at somebody, kill them, hoping that the guy in the front, his shotgun, would miss me. So I roll down the stairs, grab the other thing, throw it, slow down time, run to one guy. Actually, I'd run at the last guy that has a shield, and so the guy in the back would shoot. So I'd bang that, I'd knock that back at the shield guy. He would die. Then I have to roll, timing so I don't lose all of my slow time, and kill that last guy with a drone above him who was ready to shoot me. So like I had to like go out in this little area and then come back in.
Drones are the worst. Yeah.
And then some guy would come out behind me and I wouldn't know it and shoot me. And I was like, are you kidding me? I just killed everybody. It took me 20 minutes and I'm already dead again.
That's the worst feeling right there. Like you think you're done, and you don't know what's like a little bit further past like the end screen, and it's like go this way. And I go that way, and then one guy pops up and bam, shotguns you. Or those little like black doors that like let the players get from like multiple floors.
Enemies, yeah.
I always forget that that's a thing that they can do. So I sit there and kill a bunch of guys. I'm like, okay, I can breathe for a second, and then 2 of them come out and like pop me the shotgun. I'm like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I got so upset a few times. I was like, this game is not worth finishing. But there's a great story here, and yes, they're kind of tropes, the main characters and stuff, but still like there's something classic about it that does work. It is very unique in the way it's told. So like that's what makes it so amazing.
I think they've done a pretty good job at making it I mean, there are some like, you know, bad guy, like gangster kind of vibes to this game, but I think they've done it well enough, like with the cyberpunk kind of story, the samurai kind of feel. There's definitely enough uniqueness to it that it's stands on its own a little bit. There's some dialogue bits that are just like, really, like that's what this guy's gonna say.
Right.
There's other parts where it's very impressive. I want to know what I haven't quite understood what the meaning is of the different colored text when it pops up. I mean, I feel like some of the text is like this is angry text, and this is other, like there's some that's purple, which I think this is text that is unknown, like it's not actually right, but it could be something, but it's not quite determined yet. But I'm curious to know more about what that all means.
So on that note, this is why I really enjoy these games right now, because yes, like when people are talking, like most 16-bit or Nintendo type games like Octopath Traveler, no one's saying anything. It's just noises, right?
Yeah.
And so even in 2019, in order to make those personalities unique, you have unique noises that they make that fits that character. And then to add on to that, when you have the dialogue pop up, you have these different colors that mean different things. And I really love that about this game. Like it just adds so much character, and without having to do, voiceover or, 3D cutscenes, like, man, it is powerful. And I love that. And that's why I love going back to these like 16-bit style games.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And it's short, which is even better. Like it's probably like 5 or 6 hour game when it's all said and done.
Right.
So I'm getting very close. I'm almost there. I think I'm not going to say this, but it's great. It's highly recommended. You should get it. I mean, it's not expensive. It's worth the purchase for sure.
Yes, it is.
It's got a 10 out of a 10 right now on Steam with like 1,800 reviews.
I think
it's killing it.
I mean, it might be, I don't know. It's definitely game of the year material, I feel like right now.
Yeah.
And it's definitely indie game of the year.
I don't know, maybe Borderlands come out this year. It's gonna be hard.
I know, but it's just so unique.
It's definitely
I
gonna be
don't
an
know.
indie game of the year. Like it has a very high chance of being an indie game of the year.
Right.
Definitely.
And this guy spent
But-
6 years on this game, and
Yeah.
it shows.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I think the way he went about it, which I mean, we haven't really been able to dive into that, but it just seems like you got your 30 seconds of gameplay down. That's really fun. Very I don't. It's similar to other games, but then you tack on that story that really kind of drives it home and makes it unique.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's how a lot of games should be made.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes they focus too much on one or the other.
Well, there you have it, folks. Katana Zero, highly recommended from the Gamer Podcast. Definitely check that out.